Hello everyone and welcome to this week's edition of Reino de las Mascaras, the Kingdom of the Masks. I'm your host, as always, Rey de Mascaras, and today I want to start out with a little bit of housekeeping here. So, next week is WrestlePalooza down in Minneapolis. 2 nights. I will be there for both nights. Both the wife and myself will be there. It's going to be an absolute kick-ass event. And so far, we know that there's going to be some great lucha representation there both nights. Night number 1, we are going to have a Lucha Libre 4-way, which first has put on here the last couple of years, and they have all been spectacular. But on this particular night, we've got the returning Gringo Loco, taking on the returning Arez, taking on the returning Aramis, taking on the debuting Latigo. So, poor Aramis, because he's going to be in a 4-way match with all of the Desperados. Yeah, that could be a long night for him. It's going to be a great, great match, no doubt. And then Sunday night, we have more lucha action as we have a 6-man tag team match. This one comprising of Gringo Loco, Arez, and Latigo taking on Darius Martin of Top Flight and his partners, the the VFW Uptown Champion Brandon Gore, we believe, and their partner will be the reigning WrestlePalooza champion Devon Monroe. I am really looking forward to that one as well. I have watched Monroe here the last couple of years, and I've really thought that his style would be absolutely amazing in a lucha environment. So I'm looking forward to all of that, especially that 4-way. You know, First has put on those types of matches here the last year, and they've all been hits. So really looking forward to that one. There's a lot of talent that's going to be in that ring. Same with that 6-man. It's going to be a fantastic event. So, before I get going with this week's offering, I would like to offer up a really quick shout-out. For those who may not follow on Instagram, the month of January is typically Mascamania, put on by Jim and Sammy, who do a very good job. It's very fun to do. It's each day is a different theme, so one day might be your first mask. The next day might be your most recent mask. A technical mask. Second generation luchador mask. A champion, current champion, stuff like that. So today, Thursday, the day I filmed this, I put up my most recent mask, which if you follow the show here, you know is this very, very cool piece. And after I put it up, I got a message from a good friend of the show, Azteca Masks. And he asked some very specific questions and knew some very specific info that only someone else who had this mask on hand would have known. And he asked if it was signed anywhere, and I pointed out that, yeah, it was signed. I got him a picture of the signature, the inscription, and he got back to me almost immediately and said, "Oh, no," and basically informed me that this was not worn by Penta at all. It is a custom piece that a friend of his had acquired and gotten signed. So the signature is authentic. The signature is good to go. But this mask was never worn at all. It was never worn in the ring. It was never worn at, a promo, anything like that. So the takeaway for me on this one is I really didn't pay much more than I typically would with a non-worn signed Penta mask. I paid less than what I paid for the Republic of Lucha masks that I have, as well as, we'll talk about this one very soon, I'm sure, the very first signed Penta mask that I got when I started collecting. So we're going to take it as that. We're going to take it as a learning opportunity. You know, I should have done a little bit more research. I should have asked a couple more questions. I probably should have turned away when the gentleman was telling me the history of the mask and who owned it, where it came from, where it was worn. I probably should have kind of just cut and run there, but it is what it is. It's a nice legitimately signed by Penta mask, so we're going to chalk it up from there. But I wanted to give Azteca Mask a shout out for letting me know, for, you know, looking out for me and other collectors as well. So if you're watching this, thank you very much. Much appreciated. Now, today's mask, if you've followed the show, if you follow me on Instagram, you know I am a big fan of Titán in CMLL. And I've said it for years now, he has the premier mask game in Lucha Libre. His masks are always top-notch, incredible, and I'm talking not just of the design, but also the color schemes that he uses. They're amazing. They're absolutely amazing. I have one mask of his that is signed and worn. I've highlighted it a couple times on the show. Absolutely one of my favorites. So today, I thought about what I wanted to talk about, and I thought I'd talk about the first Titán mask that I added to my collection. It's a replica, like a lot of my early masks were, but for a replica, it's pretty darn cool. You know, I love the dual color scheme on the base of the mask. You get the blue on this side, you get the orange over here. You know, it goes all the way up, and you've got, you know, the thick pieces here. And it pops off the base so well. You've got the face logo here, the forehead logo. Just a very cool mask. Very cool mask. This one popped up on my feed. I saw it and picked it up. So it is a La Arena piece made by Rigo Rosas. There's the tag back there. In terms of replicas, these guys do an amazing job. I would say a good chunk of my replicas that I have come from La Arena. I do have a few other Rigo Rosas, masks in my collection. I can't think of them right off the top of my head, but I got plenty of them. So I'll go ahead and slip this one on. You can see what it looks like on my head, and we'll be right back. And here it is. Very breathable. It's very breathable. It's got a lot of space for the out-of-control beard. So fits very well. It's something I could wear this all day if, you know, we had a function at work and they wanted me to wear a mask and I really didn't want to take it off. I could wear it all day. It fits nice, and it's very breathable. And that's one of the great things that I love about the high quality replicas. You know, I have drifted away from them. I do tend to be either ring worn or official. So for replicas, though, that's always a nice thing, is it's got a little more headroom than most of them do. You know, obviously a luchador is going to have their masks built to their spec, you know, how they fit on their head specifically. And, you know, we've talked about it here a lot of times. That's not going to fit on my head very well. So that's the great thing about the replicas. If I know I'm going to do something, you know, be it Halloween, be it somewhere where, you know, we're dressing up for something, I can just slip one of these on and it looks great. People love it. People ask questions about it all the time. So, but you can see here, dipping it into the light, you can see it really pops up here. You can definitely see it is, you know, more or less one of the earlier designs of Titán, we'll call it. Over the years, it has, the style that he uses has gravitated toward either a very small mouth opening or no mouth opening at all. So just a fun one. This is a fun one to just kind of wear and put on when you want to have something on your head for a little while. So I'll go ahead and slip it back off and we'll close out the show. And we're back. So yeah, that is this beauty right here. One more look, getting it really into the light where you can really see everything kind of popping up on it. You can see on the inside here, the stitching is very well done, very, very thick, very durable. You know, this is one, theoretically, I could put on and, you know, rough house a little bit and not have to worry about it coming apart, ripping, tearing, disintegrating, anything like that. We don't need any of that. We don't want any of that here with the masks. So yeah, this year I'm kind of hoping to add at least another Titán piece into my collection. I've got my eye on one. Logistically might be a little bit of a tricky situation, however, because it is located in Japan, and I'm not really sure how that's going to work as far as me placing an order for it, if it's even possible, which would kind of be a little bit of a letdown, because the mask I'm looking at is absolutely beautiful. Not going to tip anybody off as to what it is, because I don't want anybody sneaking in front of me. So I'm just kidding. I'm not one of those collectors that, you know, gets jealous of somebody's collection. You know, if somebody grabs a mask before me, hey, great. All I ever ask, you know, especially with you know, my friends on Instagram, I'm like, hey, if you buy it, you got to show pictures. It's my only ask. I just love seeing everyone's collection, and that's part of what makes the mask community great, is that by and large, there's not a whole lot of jealousy like you see with other collections. You know, I belong to a few groups on Facebook with other collecting mediums, and it's a nightmare. Like, people do not support each other. People get mad. People get, you know, people will post something and say, hey, I got a great deal on this, and then people get upset because they didn't get it. It's like, no, I'm not in for that. I want to see everyone's collections. I love seeing the collections. I love seeing them grow. So that's all I have to say there. But anyway, that is this week's show. Next week will probably be a little quick, just because Thursday night I'll be preparing for the trip down to Minneapolis for a long weekend and a lot of wrestling. But really looking forward to it. So, as always, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you want to see, what kind of luchadors you want me to feature here on the show. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to show off what you folks want to see. So you can hit me on Instagram, on X, Twitter, whatever it's called this week. So until next time, we'll catch everyone later. And as always, live, laugh, love, and Lucha Libre. We'll see ya.